Hello, scholars. We are back again, and we are still talking about this thing called magnetism because we know and we understand now that matter has measurable physical properties and that these properties can be used to classify objects, to break them into groups. And we're going to be classifying objects today based on whether they are magnetic or non-magnetic. Now, remember, a magnet is going to have a north and a south pole. And we remember that opposites attract and the same poles repel, meaning they push away. I can't get those to stay because there's a magnetic field there that's pushing those away. Another way that we can prove that there is a magnetic field, another very entertaining way, is with our donut magnet. So if we take this, I can see that this is repelling, so I'm going to do opposite. And then I'm going to take it. They're so strong. I can see that that's repelling, so I'm going to do the opposite. And if I keep doing opposites, eventually I can take all of my magnets and stick them on something like a magnet. I mean, not like a magnet, like a Expo marker. It's a really cool thing to use. Expo markers are fat, and I can see those forces repelling. I can literally, I wonder if I can make it fly off the top. Let's see. Oh, I can make it fly off the top. That's what scientists do. We just wonder and we try stuff. I've caught 2 of them. 3 of them. Can I get the last one? Oh, right on the top. And there's no other forces to repel. So magnets are awesome. I've said that before. Last time, if you remember, we had our levitating paper clip over here. So magnets can levitate, but these forces can be proven. We can prove that there is a force that is causing things to happen. And this is just another example of that. Now, if we take some other things, we can test to see if they are magnetic. And that's what we're going to do today. We can take something like a die. Everybody has seen a die. We've rolled them. It's got numbers on them. We look at the material and we know that the material is made out of plastic. So this is a form of plastic. And what we can do is we take one of our magnets. I'm actually going to use donut magnet. And we're going to stick the magnet there. And then I'm going to see if the die stays. It does not stay. So that means that this die is non-magnetic. It does not attract to the magnet. It does not repel. It is non-magnetic. It is not magnetic. So if you're taking notes, you can write down that a plastic die is non-magnetic. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to keep going through different objects. And at the end, I'm going to give you 3 objects. And you're going to have to classify those based on the knowledge that you get as we're going throughout this investigation. So here's what you need to pay attention to. Pay attention to what different materials do. Materials often respond in similar ways because they're made up of the same basic chemical compositions. So materials respond in similar ways. Just keep that in your head. Now, it's not always true, but for a pattern, it's often true. Let's get these announcements out the way. Is that announcements? I really feel like I'm in school every time the intercom goes off because I'm just like, this is exactly what happens when we're teaching. The bell rings, we're distracted, but unfortunately, that was a false alarm. We're going to keep going. All right, what's the next thing that we're going to test? We are going to test just a random rock. How do I know this is a random rock? Because it was randomly picked up from outside. So you can get a random rock, you can get a magnet from your refrigerator, and we can actually test this to see that this rock is non-magnetic. So I have my plastic die is non-magnetic. I have the random rock is non-magnetic. Now let's go to something else. Have you ever seen a cork? Corks are used to plug bottles. Hit them down in the bottles. So a cork is a material that's made of a wood material. So let's check our cork. Are we going to get any magnetism there? The cork is non-magnetic. So the cork is non-magnetic. All right, let's go on. Let's try, should we try a leaf or a cloth? I've got both. I have a random leaf and a random piece of cloth. Let's go with the cloth. We're going to try the cloth. We're going to see if it is magnetic. What do you think? I want you to formulate in your brain. Either, yes, this is magnetic. I think it's magnetic because blank, fill in the blank. or I think it's not magnetic because fill in the blank. All right, here we go. Testing. I feel like, when you were little and they used to feed you. Oh, the cloth is non-magnetic. The cloth is non-magnetic. Okay, we've yet to find anything left. All right, so now we're going to try this. Let's try a paper clip. I'm not a paper clip. What is this? A stapler. This is a stapler. You know the stapler your teacher has it, and they staple the papers together in the top corner. This is actually a stapler, and they're really, really little, so you can probably see it right there. So we are going to test this stapler to see if this staple is magnetic or non-magnetic. I actually have two of them put together because I was distracted. So what do you think? Is this staple going to be magnetic or non-magnetic? What are your thoughts? Think about your knowledge of science. Think about times that you've experimented with magnets. Think about times that you've pulled the magnet off the refrigerator and just started touching it on things. Think about your scavenger hunt. If you've done a magnetism scavenger hunt, think about all of those things and formulate what you think is going to happen. I think that the staple is or is not magnetic, and then you say because, and you fill in the blank. We can write those out in complete sentences in your journal. The sky's the limit. Writing is fundamental. It's so important that we write across everything that we do, and it also helps solidify the knowledge in our head. All right, here we go. Here we go. Our magnet is coming in. We've made our predictions, and see if we can get close enough. What's going to happen? Oh, it is magnetic. It is magnetic. You can see it right there on the end. The magnet and the staple are friends. We finally got a magnetic. Okay, so we have a metal staple that was magnetic. We have a wood cork that was not. We have a plastic die that was not. We had a random rock that was not. And we had some cloth that was not magnetic. Okay. So based on what you've experienced today, and remembering if you've ever done the magnetism scavenger hunt where you just go around and touch magnets on random things and then put them into groups based on the things that were and were not magnetic, use all of that prior knowledge. And I need you to tell me, if I was to give you a metal spoon, a wood block, and a rubber eraser, how would you classify these based on magnetism, and why? What do you know about these objects that's going to help you formulate your conclusion? What do you remember about these materials that's going to help you understand what ones would be classified as magnetic and what ones would be classified as non-magnetic? Would I put the wood and the block together? Are these non-magnetic and the rubber eraser is magnetic? Is it the rubber eraser and the metal spoon? Are these non-magnetic or magnetic? You have to decide, but you need to put it into words. I know that this is magnetic because fill in the blank. I know that these are non-magnetic because fill in the blank. Science requires an explanation every single time. We have to be able to explain in words what we're thinking, what we know, what we're concluding based on what? Evidence. You have to have evidence. And I've given you things that you can go back and use as evidence. What things are similar? What things are different? What things might share similar characteristics? You have more than enough evidence to formulate your conclusion because you are awesome scientists who are changing the world using your brains. One of you is going to invent something amazing one day that is going to literally change the world, and you'll probably get very wealthy because of it. Remember me. Remember me during those moments. Thank you guys, little scholars. Hope y'all are having an absolutely awesome rest of your day, and we'll be back on with more soon.